for Rolex and motorsport.
And away we go!
It began in 1935.
Bluebird is burning up Daytona again.
Championing the legendary races from Le Mans to Melbourne and the drivers who test the limits. Continuing to move motorsport ahead.
Victorious for BMW.
That was an impressive race. A bit more energy. It was a great fight as well.
Brilliant stuff. And we go green in Germany. Turn one around the outside. They bang wheels through the final corner to win in Santiago and win in Formula E for the first time. Max Günther. It might be the closest finish in Formula E history. Günther wins.
It's really incredible. I'm so happy now.
Well, hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very special, rather unique FIA Prize Giving 2020. Now, whilst the pandemic is doing its best to keep us apart at the moment, through the powers of technology and motorsport, we can all be here together. Wonderful to see so many of our special guests tonight zooming in from around the world. Thank you to everyone at home for joining us as well. Hopefully, you're somewhere comfortable, maybe in your living room, with a glass of champagne in your hand. My name is Nikki Shields. I'll be your host for the evening, and I'm very pleased to have with me tonight to get some of that great insight from our champions. He is a living legend, a champion himself. It is indeed, of course, Mr. Tom Christensen. Although, I'm sorry, Tom, we are going to have to make sure that we keep our distance, nothing personal, of course.
Don't worry, Nikki. Luckily, racing drivers have good spatial awareness.
So how come they always keep crashing into each other? Anyway, this has been a year like no other. The challenges, of course, that we faced in the world of motorsport are nothing compared to the millions whose lives have been affected by this terrible virus. But it is precisely in troubled times that people need the thrill, the passion that motorsport provides, and the efforts that so many unsung heroes have made to get us back on track has been, well, truly inspiring.
We will hear more about some of those remarkable stories throughout the evening. Without these amazing efforts, we would not have witnessed history being made. Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes could not have raised the bar of excellence without the combined efforts of the FIA, Formula One, and the local race promoters and organizers who worked tirelessly to make Formula One the first international sport to return to action. The Formula One teams also played their part in fighting the coronavirus. Project Pitlane put their expertise in rapid prototyping to good use, and the design, the delivery of respirators helped thousands of patients across Europe. The FIA also brought the motorsport community together with its Race Against COVID auction. In association with Red Cross, the online auction raised almost 2 million for global coronavirus response. As president of the Drivers' Commission, I want to give my heartfelt thanks to everyone who helped out.
Absolutely. Now, this served us as an inspiration for the FIA to launch the purpose-driven movement as a call to accelerate the demonstration of the positive contribution of motorsport and mobility to society via the key pillars of improved health and safety on road and track, protecting our environment, diversity and inclusion and community development. Now, we are going to be learning a bit more about how these wheels are already in motion as the night goes on. Now, our setting might be virtual, but these achievements are very, very real. It's going to be an absolutely groundbreaking evening, and we've got to say a massive special thanks to our partners, Rolex, Michelin and BMW. So, without further ado, let's get started. Now, our story begins with the bedrock of motorsport. Across the world, on windswept racetracks, on sodden special stages, in the baking desert sun, the motorsport community was at work getting on with the business of doing what they do best: racing. Now, those regional and domestic championships in rallies and the various categories of circuit racing are really the foundations of our world.
And thanks to the amazing work of the whole motorsport community around the world, we were able to witness spectacular action such as this.
And I'm so happy to say that we have all of our winners here with us tonight, up on screen. Give us a big wave, guys. It's wonderful to see so many of you, literally all from all four corners of the world, looking very glamorous, I'm going to say, all suited and booted, which makes a nice change, I think. We've got Alexei Lukanak there claiming his second European Rally Championship.
And well done to Mats Östberg on taking that WRC2 title. And also great to see Tom Christensen winning the junior category. Well done, Tom.
So that's another Tom Christensen. Is he the sort of younger, faster version?
Definitely much faster, a lot braver, and obviously very successful. Thank you very much, everyone. I mean, enjoy the rest of the evening. It looks so good.
Yeah, go and enjoy the celebrations. Get that champagne popping. Thanks so much.
Thanks for being part.
Oh, how amazing is that, getting to actually see all the drivers from around the world. Now, from the off-road adventures, now it's time to take a look back at some of the best action from the circuits around the world. Always great to relive some of those moments. And here are our Formula 4 champions. Guys, give us a wave. Welcome to the FIA Prize Giving 2020. Congratulations. Great to see you there, all with your trophies, of course. Yeah, hold them up. Fill them up with champagne later. And got to say, massive well done to Hunter Jenny, who, of course, won 7 races on his way to the US title. And Johnny Edgar, who won the German title by just 2 points in a thrilling championship fight.
And also these champions from the circuit racing scene. We certainly want to congratulate to Jan Erlacher on taking his first world title. Good to see you. And Link & Co. on defending the WTCR, the CN Racing team, Link & Co. on defending the WTCR Teams Championship. Well done.
Well, thank you again for joining us. Now, we will catch up with you later, I'm sure, at some point on a racetrack somewhere in the world. Now, the F2 and F3 championships are the cornerstones in the development of young drivers. Racing on the same bill as Formula One puts these aspiring talents in the shop window. And wow, do they put on a thrilling show. This year, we really were treated to some epic battles. And we'll be seeing at least 2 of those newcomers on the Formula One grid next season, which I think, you know, just showcases how successful these feeder series have become.
Formula 3 is underway. This is going to be brilliant wheel-to-wheel action. It's time for a brand new season of FIA Formula 2. Chaos at the start. Look at this.
Well, I cannot see a thing.
Oh, that's a scary moment. Oh, he's got the place.
You broke my suspension. You hit me that hard.
What a finish that was.
Finally! So what is the Delhi doing?
Oscar Piastri has won the title. racing. Oh, he's hit him. What a super move. One of his best days ever in motorsport. There can only be one champion. Oh no! Mick Schumacher crosses the line to win the Formula 2 championship.
The F3 Championship boiled down to a tense three-way fight in the season finale at Mugello, where, of course, Oscar Piastri and PREMA Racing emerged victorious. We caught up with young Oscar to get his thoughts on his championship success.
Definitely a very tense title decider in Mugello. The last few laps were very, very intense indeed. It means a lot, obviously, coming into F3 first year and being a rookie. I didn't really have expectations to win the title. Sticking with PREMA for F2 in 2021. Very happy to be sticking with them, and hopefully it's another successful year. Massive thank you to obviously PREMA for giving me a great car all year. Thank you to everyone at the FIA and F2 and F3 in getting the championship organised. Obviously a very challenging year, so a massive thank you to everyone who got the show back on the road. And we'll see you in 2021.
Lovely Australian accent there. And congratulations, obviously, to PREMA Racing. With 13 wins across F3 and F2, it was an amazing season, rightly rewarded by the team's title in both series. Going to René Rosin's squad. Well done, René.
Now, the Formula 2 Championship went right down to the wire with two Ferrari Driver Academy races. Dueling it out in Bahrain, and following a rather nail-biting finale, it was, of course, Mick Schumacher who took the title.
We are so happy to have Mick here tonight. Congratulations on winning the F2 Championship. Wow, Mick, what a finish it was. Can you please tell us about that finale race in Bahrain? I mean, when you chose to pit for fresh tires in the end, you must have been worried it was all over.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, it wasn't easy. Definitely not. Yeah, we were just, trying to do the safe race, and at the end locked up going into the first lap. And obviously after that, the flat spot was so bad that at some point we had to pit. And so we did, go for that pit, knowing that possibly, Callum had a good car and speed. So we were hoping that I've done enough to keep him behind me and that he would use his tyres up, which he did. So luckily everything went well. But definitely it was a nail-biting moment for everybody. It
was great to watch, and good luck for your future. Well done into F1, and well done in generally to all our winners from the Formula category. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's certainly got an exciting 2021 to look forward to, that's for sure. Now, this year, the rulebook has been completely torn up. Old norms have been replaced by the new ways of working. Innovation and adaptation became key, and the binds of legacy were just cast off, allowing creativity to find new solutions. Now, behind the scenes, club officials performed, well, pretty much minor miracles, which enabled competitors to get back behind the wheel. Now, the tireless work of the FIA volunteers and officials underpins all our competitive events. Without their enduring efforts, motorsport would simply just not be possible. And this is our opportunity to celebrate their achievements.
life? He's gone to the hospital now for the checkups and x-rays and things like this, but he has got minor burns, but he's okay.
Yeah, the marshals are the unsung heroes, and they really, really are incredible what they do.
Well, our respect and thanks goes out to all the officials around the world for their amazing work this year. But there is only one official who we're paying special tribute to tonight, and he has had an amazing story. He recovered from a life-changing injury to play a part in this year's Hungarian Grand Prix. Our official of the year is ATTILA LÁZSLÓ, and we're very happy he sent us this message.
Since my accident, I received awards, and I'm really honored because of those awards. But to receive the FIA Outstanding Official of the Year award, it's something different, something greater. Because all around the world, a lot of officials are working and risking their lives every single time they are on the side of the track to make our beloved sport to happen. First of all, I would like to thank to my family, but also I would like to say thanks to the whole Hungarian motorsports family, the marshals, the drivers, the teams, the fans, because everybody was helping and supporting me after my accident. And I would like to highlight the Autobok Hungary team, because without them, nothing that I have done would be possible. For me, receiving this award from the FIA has a simple but important meaning. It's the greatest feedback about that I'm on the right path, which I need to follow in the future.
Well, thank you to ATTILA. Now, motorsport is all about momentum, and with it, the evolution and change that it brings. Yet, despite this, some constants do remain. The checkered flag, the goosebumps before the start, and perhaps the most impressive of all, the winners of our next award.
Wood Brothers Racing, a motorsports team formed in Stuart, Virginia, just a few years following World War II's conclusion, has had a significant impact on the world of racing. Led by Glenn and Leonard, the brothers had humble beginnings on Virginia's dusty dirt tracks near their home. Early success in the area blossomed a few years later into great success on the NASCAR Cup Series super speedways. Glenn Wood was one of NASCAR's 50 greatest drivers and built a team with his brothers for which 10 members of the NASCAR Hall of Fame have driven. Their reputation for innovating the modern pit stop gained them notoriety that led from NASCAR to the Indy 500 to the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Choreography, precision, and skill were part of their mastery of shaving seconds off time spent in the pits. In 1965, Colin Chapman and Ford Motor Company sought an edge in the Indy 500 for Jimmy Clark. That edge came in the lightning-fast pit stops performed by the Wood Brothers team. Clark became the first non-American winner of the race since 1916, leading 190 of the 200 laps, giving Chapman and Lotus a significant victory. 5 wins in NASCAR's biggest race, the Daytona 500, and 99 wins overall during a 70-year history make them NASCAR's longest-running operation.
Slamming into the wall. The winner is car number 21. An amazing finish. Trevor Bayne gets the win for the Wood Brothers.
Brian Delaney brings the Wood Brothers to victory lane.
3 generations of the Wood family, led by Leonard, continue to compete at NASCAR's highest level. NASCAR's most enduring team, indeed, motorsports royalty.
With a career spanning 8 decades, more trophies than you could count, including 99 NASCAR Cup wins, as well as helping a certain Jim Clark to Indy 500 glory. Our winners are, of course, the legendary Wood brothers.
Hi there, I'm Eddie Wood from Wood Brothers. I just want to thank the FIA Founding Members Club for this great award that you've given us. It's unlike anything we've ever received before. It's such an honor, and we just greatly appreciate it.
Leon Wood, and to be compared with like the Mille Miglia and Targa Florio, even in the same sentence with those great events from early in the 1900s, you know, we're honored by the Heritage Cup Award, and thank you on behalf of our family.
Thank you to our amazing winners. What a journey from Virginia to Winner's Circle.
Absolutely incredible. It gives me goosebumps seeing some of those images. Now, one of the positive outcomes of lockdown was that it gave a huge boost to digital motorsport. The low barrier to entry, both in terms of cost and access to equipment, meant that sim racing is now the most inclusive form of motorsport. The FIA has long championed digital motorsport, but this year, with so many FIA championships creating their very own esports competitions, virtual motor racing was given a massive boost in profile. Since 2018, the FIA has been working in partnership with perhaps the most famous racing game of all time, Gran Turismo.
He has a sneaky look up the inside, they're side by side, he's up the inside, he's so close, he's pushing it wide. Side by side they come, tries to muscle him out, it was mightily close. Breathing down his neck, trying to find his way past. He has the tightest advantage, spins, he loses out. As we come on to the final lap of racing here.
Nations Cup champions. The Eagle Fire goes defensive. Nick goes up the inside. So thank you very much, son.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. A whole season's worth of racing comes down to this. The grand final in the Manufacturers Series.
They're going to be side by side coming up to T6 and Bart right-hander.
Fantastic driving there from Nick Arnazal. Subaru over the line to become the Manufacturers Series World Champions of 2020.
Guys, we're champions.
We, for the final time in 2020, are underway. Takuma Miyazono, he's got enough to take the title. If it stays as it is, it doesn't matter. The World Championship in the Nations Cup. Takuma Miyazono is the 2020 World Champion in the Nations Cup.
And our digital motorsport winners are the Nations Cup, Takuma Miyazono, who's a double winner as he won the Nations Cup and the Manufacturers Series. The latter along with last year's winners, Mikael Heil and Daniel Solis. Congratulations to all three of you. Give us a massive wave. Obviously, we can't talk to you, so give us a bit of a, a celebratory dance or whatever you fancy doing. We want to see those trophies. Congratulations to all of you, because it's a massive achievement. I also love being able to see the footage there. Of course, normally with a racing driver, you have a helmet on, but you can see their faces. You can see the pure determination and focus.
It's a lot of skill. Of course, they have to be very, very motivated. And it's such a growing sport. So the barrier is so low to enter. But these are at the very pinnacle of this racing.
Did you get a little sim at home during lockdown?
I have a sim. I will not compete with them. I'm struggling to compete with my children. But it's obviously really, really fun. And you can very easily get attracted to motorsport.
Leave it to these experts. Thank you very much, guys, and a huge, huge congratulations. Now, the karting stars of today are the motorsport heroes of tomorrow. So remember these names, as you might just be looking at the next Ayrton Senna or Michael Schumacher.
Marin Kremers added the European KZ title to the world crown he won last year, whilst Victor Gustafsson became KZ2 European champion after tough weekends at Adria and Genk. Following race meetings at Zuera and Sarno, the European champions in the OK class were crowned at Wackersdorf in Germany, as American star Yugo Ugochukwu became junior champion for 2020, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli of Italy became senior European champion and the FIA Karting Rookie of the Year. Whilst the FIA Karting Academy was clinched by Conor Zilic of the USA, ahead of Britain's Theo Makouris and Matteo Capieto of France, Simone Cunati of Italy won the International KZ2 Super Cup at Lonato, and Jeremy Iglesias finally became KZ World Champion for the Formula K racing team. At Portimao in Portugal, two British drivers clinched the ultimate OK prizes. Freddie Slater became junior world champion at his first attempt, ahead of Tuukka Tarpanen of Finland and Harry Burgoyne Jr. of Scotland, whilst Tony Kart dominated the World Championship final as Callum Bradshaw won the crown, ahead of his teammates Joe Turney of Britain and Pedro Hiltbrand of Spain. No matter what 2020 threw at the motorsport community, the racing was as spectacular as always in the FIA Karting Championships.
Well, a huge congratulations to all of our karting winners. Great to see so many of you looking rather smart tonight. Massive well done, of course, to the European OK champion and Rookie of the Year, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Wondering where that middle name came from, eh?
For sure, not from North.
And we've got the European KZ champion and runner-up in the World KZ Championship, Martin Kremers. And let's not forget the title rivals who took second and third places, such as Theo Makouris, and Matteo Capieto. Give us a wave, guys. Can you see us? Yeah, right, excellent.
and let's hear as well. I would like to hear from our OK champion, Callum Bradshaw. Callum, a great season for you, very inspiring. But who inspired you to take up motorsport in the first place?
I'm not quite sure, really. I've not really got a sporting great. I'd probably just say my dad, because obviously he was in bikes before. It's not sort of in cars, but he did bikes before, so he was always in motorsport. So he drove me through my career, and probably say, yeah, my dad. That's
a very, very good answer, Callum. Good luck with the future. Next up, I would also like that we will meet our junior winner, Freddie Slater. Freddie, how have you balanced your schoolwork while doing all this racing? Have you been able to follow school?
Yeah, I just have to be focused on the kart as well, in the racing, but also got where we're at school. But we've been getting on with the work, and I'd just like to thank Bromsgrove School for actually letting me being able to go away and do this karting.
That's very good. It's good to hear. And lovely trophies you have there, and lovely helmet design. We'd like to move on and finally to hear from our KZ champion, Jeremy Iglesias, sitting there in Monte Carlo. After such a great season, what are your plans for next year, Jeremy?
Yeah, my plan is to win again. Let's say that I will try to do my best again to be a world champion. For me, it's really nice to be the first Frenchman who win this category. I'm very proud on it, and let's say these children dreams come true.
It's really amazing winning these very, very competitive karting championships. I would say congratulations to all our karting winners, and see you surely in future.
Now, for the past 4 years, the Drivers' Commission, which Tom hosts, my co-host, he chairs, has selected the FIA Rookie of the Year. Now, past winners have included Alex Albon, Charles Leclerc, and last year we presented with a very, very talented crop to choose from. And I think we both agree that the winner was a rather worthy one. Let's take a look.
Two wins and third in the championship in his maiden F2 season was a great return. But the icing of the cake was the confirmation that he'll graduate to Formula One next year with AlphaTauri. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2020 FIA Rookie of the Year is, of course, Yuki Tsunoda. And we have a message from Yuki now.
Thank you very much for choosing me for the FIA Rookie of the season. Everything was new. Also the team, compared to Japan, it's different style. So it's really hard, was tough to adapt to the European style. Also the track, in F3, 4 tracks was first time in the race week. And also we have just 1-2 sessions until the race, future race. So was really, really tough season. So I won 3 wins. I won 3 times for this season, 2 future race and 1 sprint race. Good memories for me for this season. Yeah.
Thank you and all the best for the future. It's good to see a Japanese in F1 again. Ganbatte kudasai, Yuki.
Now, at the beginning of the show, I mentioned the FIA's purpose-driven initiative. Let's find out a bit more about it.
Our world is changing. New challenges and new opportunities have fast-tracked the need to do things differently. Motorsport and mobility have long led the way. The FIA aims at ensuring that the worlds of motorsport and mobility bring a positive contribution to society. We innovate. We act.
I won't stay silent against racial discrimination and inequality.
I believe everyone should be treated equally.
We create change.
Create a new deal for motorsport, reinvigorate mobility and road safety, enhance our influence through our contribution to society. These are our major ambitions for the time to come.
Let's continue to save lives by using our technical expertise to deliver the highest standards of safety on both track and road. Respond to public health challenges and create a culture of responsible road users worldwide. Let's deliver sustainable motorsport and mobility by taking an innovation-led approach that delivers lower emissions and addresses the mobility issues of our time. Let's create a culture of inclusion and diversity to the benefit of all, making our sport more accessible and using our global platform to fight injustice and intolerance. Let's harness the societal value motorsport and mobility bring to diverse communities across the world, improving livelihoods, providing jobs.
Just get out.
Technologies, new opportunities.
An engine for social change.
And delivering the values of sport and entertainment to all. We'll come together to overcome future challenges. We'll continue to make a difference. Share our commitment to a better future. We are all purpose-driven.
And we can see purpose-driven in action across the next categories. And this is something that will accelerate in the coming years too. It's been almost a decade since the FIA first sought to promote alternative energy in motorsport, an objective that resulted in the Formula E Championship. It became the first global sporting series to achieve carbon neutrality, dating back to its inception back in 2014. And next season, it will become an FIA World Championship. Now, this sets the standard and shows that the FIA's commitment to net zero carbon is not a barrier to great racing. But now on to our next rather appropriate award. We were treated with a thrilling 6th season of electrifying Formula E action. Let's take a look at the best of those moments.
Radio check.
Yeah, I hear you. Radio check. Copy.
Keep it eyes forward, keep it smooth.
Formula E is one of the hardest championships in motorsport.
We have the best drivers in the world. We have more manufacturer than any other categories.
You have to keep the commitment, keep the passion, try to win every race.
The will to win is always there.
My motivation is sky high. This racing, fighting in the championship, is something that really keeps me alive.
We go green in Diriyah. Bird's into the lead of the race. What a win for Sam Bird. Yes, boys! Go Bird! Alexander Sims victorious for BMW. Look at this battle for the lead.
Let's go get him.
Gunter goes to the outside of turn 9 and he's done it.
I can't believe how happy I am.
Yes! Here comes Costa to the inside. He's on fan boost. Oh, De Vries is closing the door aggressively. One of the most dominant races in the history of the championship. And Gunter's into second place. De Costa wins the race.
Yes! Let's go, boys!
We go green in Berlin. De Costa takes the first win in Berlin. Van Dorn's going to try and make it 3 wide. What a move.
And that's a win.
Yes, You deserve this, guys. 1-2.
Antonio Felix da Costa, the champion of Formula E.
I'm lost for words, man. Thank you, DS Cheetah, for bringing me the best chance of my life.
Following all that drama, our new champion is, of course, Antonio Felix da Costa. And for the third season in a row, DS Cheetah won the team's title. Well done to everyone at DS Cheetah, represented tonight by team boss Mark Preston.
Oh, well, it's amazing to see Mark there. I'm assuming at his home he's got the Amlin Aguri team kit behind him, which is how he first started out in Formula E. But he's such a big character in the Formula E paddock and has been absolutely critical and pivotal in making that team, running for a third successful year, a third championship, and of course another Drivers' Championship as well. So, Mark, it's wonderful to see you tonight. With your cheetah there in the background as well.
It's good. But we also, of course, want to hear from our new Portuguese champion.
It was a big challenge for me joining this team and just learning everything. And before the lockdown, you know, we were coming on a super good run of good results with a second place in Chile and in Mexico. And then obviously coming to Marrakesh and winning the race there, we were on a roll of good results, and then we were forced into a lockdown with a pandemic. And then I guess I was in a much better position than most of my opponents, just because I just took the championship lead. I just won a race, so you know I could be relaxed and motivated. But at the same time, it's really important when you're on a roll of good results to keep the ball rolling. And we went into lockdown, so I really focused on myself as an athlete, as a person. The work with the team was continued. Make sure we keep on developing everything. You know, a combination of a lot of people working super hard to give me and my teammate the chance to achieve our goals. And very grateful for that.
Thank you, a worthy champion. Congratulations to all of you, and enjoy the champagne at home and the show. And thanks for being with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that finale in Berlin was something else. 6 races in 12 days. Could you have coped with that?
It's the same hotel room for many nights, I would say.
Yes, it was indeed. It was a little bit boring, the food, after a while. But other than that, the racing drama was fantastic. So congratulations to Antonio Felix da Costa and DS Cheetah. Now, talking of excitement, the thrill of top-class rallycross is hard to beat. The close combat and outrageous performance makes it a fan favourite. And here are just some of this year's highlights.
The World Rallycross season kicks off here at an eerie Hollius. We're missing you in the grandstands, but you will not miss a second of the action at home. 2020 is the year of the doubleheader. The weekend's going to be long, but fun. Number 21 for Johan Kristoffersson. The double world champion is back. Everybody went on lap 2. There's one man left, and he's 2.5 seconds down the road. Fastest lap of the day, EKSTRÖM. Oh my goodness me! Over the crest, EKSTRÖM's going to edge Kristoffersson. He has to slot in behind. Epic battle. Looking up the inside, he's all crossed up in the polo. Matthias EKSTRÖM from Johan Kristoffersson by a 1/10 of a second at Hollius. EKSTRÖM has thrown down big time. the last corner joker. Nicholas Donovan on the inside, got to straighten the car up. Oh, he might be able to hold on. Christoffsson trying to go around the outside. Nicholas got a hold on at middle. Christoffsson gets run wide by Timoziano. What a win! Look at Bonham pacing to turn 3. Oh! Contact on the inside line. Oh, in the background, Bonham's dropped it on the brakes. But Matthias Ekström has been the master tactician here for round 6, and he wins in Riga. Epic pace from Hansen. Can he get the better of Johan Christoffsson with new tyres on the Peugeot? Johan looks on the inside. Contact between them. Hansen takes the win in round 7. Double podium for the Hansen squad. Oh, great start, Christoffsson. He's maybe gone backward already. He has. Oh, no contact between them. Backward in the wall. Hansen's got no answer. Christoffsson takes his 4th win of the year. That must surely be a 3rd World Rallycross Championship title.
The WRX season boiled down to 4 doubleheader events. Our top 3 drivers in the championship are actually together right now. They are testing in Aragon. Last year's champion, Timmy Hansen, took 3rd in the final standings and 1 win in his Team Hansen Peugeot. Good to see you there, looking good. Very good. Say hi at home to your family team. My old DTM teammate, the versatile and very quick Matthias Ekström, was 2nd in his Audi S1 with a creepy little good smile there with 2 wins. Well done, hey Eki, good to see you again. And with these cars, which Eki drove, it was of course the KYB team, JC, who took the manufacturer's top prize, here represented by Joel Kristoffersson. And with 4 wins, it was Johan Kristoffersson who claimed his 3rd title. Johan, congratulations on yet another title. You took a year out in touring cars, and then you came back, and looks like you're still the master of low speed, low grip corners to win a 3rd World Championship. Is correct?
Yeah, I mean, good to see you, Tom. We haven't seen you since in Mexico. So, but yeah, it was a good year. A bit strange year, but yeah, definitely very happy to be able to clinch the 3rd title. And first of all, very happy to be able to do the season because of the situation we have. So, very, very cool season. And also with the double headers this year, was very, very hectic weekends. So, yeah, but in the end, we came out on top. So, very proud about that.
Thanks, Johan. I'm sure you are showing the trophy to your friends there. It looks fabulous next to you. So thank you, Johan. Thank you, Eki and Timmy. And enjoy your testing in Spain.
Well, it's always good to hear from our championship winners. It must be quite nice for you, Tom, sometimes speaking to, Matthias there. You could say whatever you want, and yet he can't reply.
Yeah.
Is that the only time?
I got a little one in.
Now, from the quick hit of rallycross to the true test of endurance, let's talk about Le Mans in September. I mean, Tom, that must have sent shivers down your spine at that time of year.
I would say you will get more darkness in September, you'll get more rain, it will be cooler. So, in a way, a lot of good things.
Oh, I'm not sure that sounds good to me. I think the timing of the 88th running of the Endurance Classic is going to be a great quiz question in the future, so remember that one. Now, even more unusual was the absence of the hordes of passionate fans, but the teams and drivers still provided an epic battle. Next year, Le Mans will reverberate to the thunder of the new hypercar era, keeping endurance racing at the apex of motorsport. The LMP era has produced some amazing action, and its swan-song season was no exception. Let's take a look for the final time.
They
are the winners of the 2019-2020 World Endurance Championship. Ferrari and AF Corse, GTE AM Trophy winners. United Autosports, crowned in LMP2. Aston Martin Racing, FIA GTE World Champions. Toyota Gazoo Racing, FIA LMP1 World Champions. To get to the end of our journey, it's been a long road, traveled all around the world, and a very special season.
3, 2, 1.
Races. Starts.
Red lights are on. To spin. Full spin, the Toyota's through into lead.
Turns. Curves. Apexes. Checkered flags. Podiums. And what the essence of racing is made of. Unthinkable passes.
Inside of Cop's corner, keeps it going. Yeah, Jack Carter's going, no.
Pure speed. Human skills. Strategy.
Okay, go.
Drama.
That's a heavy impact. The car's rolled and back onto its wheels.
Unforgettable action. The emotions of the winners. And then, suddenly, everything stopped. COVID-19 cut the engines, emptied the grandstands, and locked out our fans for 6 months. Nothing left but silence and anticipation. While the researchers research and the carers care with all our support. And then, finally, one day, one morning, the sun rose again. And we came back, masked, cautious, responsible, and dearly missing our fans, but with an even stronger hunger for competition. Humankind will find a solution because the human factor is so vital. Endurance racing will go on.
And here we go again.
For the thrill of racing on the edge, the tension of the start.
Goes the sport car on the left side. Oh.
Day and night.
Oh my goodness, that was a bit of a shunt there.
In rain or shine.
It snapped in the straight, didn't it?
With the spirit of Le Mans. Pushing the limits.
Oh, wow.
With a win and everything it means. Because the human factor is vital. Endurance racing will go on.
15 seconds to start the formation lap.
Even stronger as hypercars arrive. For WEC Season 9. Don't miss it. And see you soon in 2021.
Simply stunning action there. And after all, it was Aston Martin Racing, represented by David King, that claimed the LMGTE title for teams. And finally, a world championship for its drivers, the Dane train, Marcus Hansen and Nicky Tim, after being category champions in 2016. Tillykke!
That's the best celebration we've seen. Come on, we need more from that from the drivers.
Vi er stolte. Vi er stolte af jer, drenge. And in the final season of LMP1, Third place went to Rebellion Racing's Bruno Senna, Gustavo Meneses, and Norman Nato. Probably somewhere in Monaco or Brazil, I don't know, but it's looking good. You're looking very good. I wonder what trousers you wear to that tuxedo. Let's go into second.
Bruno's not happy. Are you wearing your pajamas, Bruno Senna? He's not standing up, so I'm questioning it.
It's good. Good to see you. But in second, let's see Toyota's Brendan Hartley, Sebastian Buemi, and Kazuki Nakajima. They are fully dressed. Well done and congratulations.
And I should hope so too, Tom.
It was another fantastic season for our team's champions, Toyota Gazoo Racing, represented by Rob Leupen. Maybe we're here somewhere in the picture. It looks like he will. Let's see Rob. It could be that they are all together in
They're giving someone
test.
a nudge to come and join.
Looks like they're at the test in Portimao. Rob. There we have the managing director of Toyota Gazoo Racing, Rob Leupen. Well done. And we want to see the title-winning drivers as well. And that is, of course, this year, Jose Maria Lopez, Kamui Kobayashi, and Mike Conway. So can we get them close
sure
to
that
us?
they're
We would
coming.
love to hear that.
This is the behind-the-scenes access that you get, guys.
Let's hear from Kamui with 4 wins in 8 races. What was the highlight of the season for you, Kamui?
I would say it was Spa. Obviously, I think we were leading championship at that race before going to Spa. And, I think we usually have a disadvantage for EOT. Still, we made the winning with, I think quite a reasonable point before going to Le Mans. Obviously, we lost in Le Mans due to a technical problem. But I think because this is Spa race winning, I would say we got the opportunity to win championship after Bahrain. So I think that was the biggest highlight.
Yeah, Mike, I'd like to talk to you. You hear me, Mike, there in Portimao? You hear me? Mike Conway, wave if you hear. That's good. Mike, Bahrain was the final race for the TS050. What's it been like racing this car? And is this the best you've ever driven?
Yeah, well, first of all, hello, everyone. The TS050 has been a really special car. All the way through the eras that we've seen, 2012 all the way to now, has been a really special car. And I'll miss not driving it anymore, It's been a lot of fun. And yeah, to finally sign off in Bahrain with the championship with that car has been really special. So all credit to the team, everyone in Cologne and in Japan, and obviously my teammates on achieving that.
Thank you very much. Jose Maria, congratulations on a fantastic season for you all. How does it feel for you to be finally standing here as a sports car world champion and joining the small band of world champions in 2 different categories?
Well, hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and definitely it's been very special. There's been a lot of hard work from the whole team, everyone involved, back in Cologne and from Toyota Gazoo Racing back in Japan as well. So very, very happy, honestly. When I joined this new challenge for me, it was very difficult to think of this, but thanks to my teammate Mike, Kamui, we managed to achieve this year, and we are very happy, yes.
Thank you very much. I love that Argentine accent. Well done to all my friends from endurance racing. Well done.
Congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this year, unfortunately, there were only a handful of events where spectators could watch the cars in action. But even if it was only from afar, they still got to witness some history being made, some nail-biting finishes, and world-class drivers doing what they do best. Action of the Year is voted for by the fans from a selection of the best moments provided by all the FIA championships. And despite the short seasons, well, there was no shortage of clips to choose from. So let's take a look.
For second place, and Gunter's into second place on the final lap.
Into the Beckett's S's. Wow, and the Aston's gone off.
What a safe car.
It's dusting.
Going to work, surely. He can't find the grip. He does find the grip. He's on the curbs. Just enough room to survive from Muller, and not a centimetre more. Plunging down the hill. What a pass on a streaming wet Nordschleife.
Got onto the inside line, Ekström too. Kristoffersson trotting around the outside. Niklas got him out on the Midland. What a win! Oh, Kristoffersson.
Out, and we are racing once again for the Portuguese Grand Prix. Extraordinary start to the motor race. Absolutely thrilling start, Portuguese Grand Prix. Absolutely inspired opening lap of the Grand Prix. Kimi Raikkonen's making use of the Ferrari power though, as they get their foot flat to the floor. Kimi Raikkonen is in another league right now.
Some amazing action there. And following the fan vote, the winner is the stunning opening lap of Kimi Raikkonen in Portimao from 17th to 6th in one lap. Let's hear what Kimi has to say about winning this award.
First of all, thanks for creating a new trophy for me, so I got one at least this year. But yeah, I mean, obviously it was a good start of the race in Portimao, but unfortunately we didn't score points. So, but yeah, I think it was fun and things went smoothly on the first laps. But so, thanks for all the fans to voting, and hopefully next year is a bit better.
A very well-deserved award for our humble Finnish friend there.
You definitely had less vodka than last year. Some of motorsport's top journalists pool their collective insight and experience to determine the winner of our next award, the Personality of the Year. And here are the 10 nominees. Following his record-breaking exploits, it probably wasn't the hardest decision they've ever had to make, but congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. However, before we do speak to him, and in keeping with the unprecedented nature of tonight's show, Lewis also gets another unique award. And to tell us more about it, it's the FIA Vice President Angelo Sticky Damiani.
Good evening. Lewis Hamilton's dominance of this era of Formula One was underlined in 2020, as he took a record-qualifying 7th World Drivers' title, matching the milestone achieved by Michael Schumacher. Lewis' achievements over the course of his career have made him motor racing big star and most influential personality. Off track, Lewis has become a standard bearer for positive action on issues that stretch far beyond sport and affect society as a whole. So, I am deeply honored as an FIA Vice President to present Lewis with this year's FIA Personality of the Year award. In addition, as President of Automobile Club of Italy, we would like to acknowledge Lewis' achievement in becoming the highest point scorer in the 3 Grand Prix organized in Italy this year with a special ACI trophy. Congratulations, Lewis.
And joining us now is our Personality of the Year winner, Lewis Hamilton. Lewis, welcome. Great to have you here tonight. Me and Tom have been placing bets at what exotic location you might be around the world. Can you tell us where you are?
Well, you can see from behind me, I'm actually at the team. So, but it's nice to see you all.
Well, a much more appropriate location then. Now, obviously, we've just been hearing all about the incredible racing in Italy. What was it like for you racing on tracks like Mugello and Imola this year? Because they're quite different to most of the modern circuits. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, this year, having these new circuits well, the historic circuits come back onto the calendar, it was a massive challenge, I think, for everyone and added a lot of excitement. You know, these are circuits that we grew up, many of us grew up watching, probably all of us actually, grew up watching the greats race at. And so to have the opportunity to go there, it was a real spare of the moment kind of thing because no one had data or had driven those circuits, or perhaps maybe when they were younger. So to go there and unleash the new cars that we have today was a massive challenge and brought a lot of excitement, I think, to all of us and I think to the fans.
Absolutely, it certainly did. Well, congratulations on Personality of the Year, but get comfortable because I think we're going to be hearing from you again a little bit later this evening. Now, let's turn our attention to the WRC, where the impact of the pandemic was profound. The season was already underway when the virus hit, and the decision to shorten Rally Mexico was incredibly difficult but necessary to ensure the well-being of both the competitors and the locals. But getting the championship restarted was a superb logistical feat by all involved, and the fans were rewarded with some spectacular action. Let's take a look.
Emotion is plain for us all to see. Must see, it's a nice weekend. Okay, ciao.
There is for sure more important things going on, and health has to go first, and then we can have fun again and go racing.
up with what's going on?
Absolutely, no risk, no cuts, nothing, and suddenly.
Wow, what a thriller the 2020 WRC was. With the final round, the first Rally Monza to be a World Championship event, providing all the thrills and spills we have come to expect from this great series. Congratulations to Hyundai Motorsport for securing and claiming the manufacturer's honors for the second year in a row. Here, obviously represented by not only Scott No, but also the president, looking good there with that wonderful Stella trophy.
Yeah, all have a good hold.
Yeah.
We need to see the best on-screen celebration.
Yeah.
Looks heavy.
Yeah, that's very good. Very nice pictures. Congratulations. Taking third in the standing was last year's world champion, Ott Tänak and Martin Järviöver. And a great recovery from that crash and the opening round in Monte Carlo. The close-up and very close up runner-ups were Elfyn Evans and Scott Martin. Good to see you, Elfyn. A fair sportsman, we will hear later. Very well done from the Welshman. After an amazing finale, the end, it was, of course, Sebastian Ogier and co-driver Julian Ingrassia, who prevailed, clinching their 7th WRC title. Sebastian, well done, a superb achievement again, I have to say, taking 7 world titles and now with 3 different manufacturers. How does this title compare to the other 6?
Well, I think it's no point to mention that it's been a special year for all of us. So I think we were the only one actually starting the season normally with 3 events up to middle March, and after that it was a huge break. We had to wait for very, very long in rally before we restarted, and then still there was a lot of question mark of how many rallies we're going to do. So every rally we had to give everything we had. The intensity I think was maybe even higher than ever because it was very hard to make any plan. So yeah, I think for sure I'm still very happy to have another title. 7 start to be a pretty nice number, and 3rd different team. So of course delighted with this.
Big respect, and it's good you see that you take your rally seat with you at home. Julian, we saw a fantastic piece of sportsmanship I touched on earlier from your teammate Elfyn Evans, who was leading the championship by 14 points going into that Rally Monza. He was warning you about the slippery surface he had crashed out on a little bit earlier. Can you give us your thoughts on the impact of what he did there and how much it helped you?
Well, good evening. You know, in rally, we have this chance that we are all very fair play and we fight into the stages, and we are quite gentlemen all together. And I think all of us will have done the same, but for sure, it was a very tricky place that unfortunately he went off on this place, and he knew that he was losing with this crash the manufacturer championship. So he had the beautiful reflex to just warn us and make us slowing down as much as we could. but still it was a very tricky place. But yeah, thanks to him for that, and I'm sure that any opponent in WRC would have done the same. So this is the spirit of the rally.
No, very good, Julian. Of course it is. It's really good, and I want to thank all our great rally champions there.
Congratulations to Sebastian and Julian. Thank you. Now, sadly, this year we have had to say goodbye to some valued members of the FIA family. Let's take a look at a few moments to remember those who have passed away. The paddocks of the world just won't be the same without those who left us, especially the legendary Sir Stirling Moss, who leaves behind an incredible legacy. Now it's time for 3 very special awards. The first is a true success story to celebrate the life-saving implications of the FIA's continued push for safety. It is my absolute honour to welcome to the stage FIA President Jean Todt. John, if you'd please come and join me on the stage here in our virtual awards setting. Wonderful to have you. But let's just talk about, because of course, during your presidency, you have never compromised on safety. It's always been at the forefront of the agenda. And well, this year in particular, I think the measures that you've implemented and the standards, well, that you've set have never been more important, wouldn't you say?
I will say I will not put that specifically to my presidency in the FIA. You know, it's the role of FIA to do as much as we can to improve safety. And as motoring is progressing, motorsport is also progressing. It has to be a laboratory, and every year, probably, we improve the running of the event by being safer.
Absolutely. Well, I think we'll both agree here that the world breathed a massive sigh of relief as Romain Grosjean swiftly jumped out of that car in Bahrain. But I think that accident was a stark reminder that the quest for safety is never ending.
This was a big one. This was a big one. Is he okay?
No wonder the fuel came out of it.
Yeah.
I said the fuel was in the middle of the car. That's extraordinary.
The car?
It's gone through the barrier, you see. The car's gone through the barrier.
There we can see Romain.
Roman's getting himself... Yeah, he was in the flames for a long time, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Getting himself out.
Oh, there's Romain Grosjean.
Unbelievable.
Part of our job, and we take it that it's normal that we have marshals and so on. But thank you for coming, for giving the flags, warn us, come and help us when we're in a difficult situation. And thanks for trying to help me. You were the man that crossed the road. your reaction, your attitude. I saw the video, your awareness of where I was in the car. I don't know how you got it, it must be in you, but thank you for saving my life. Welcome.
We were all shocked by that accident that Romain Grosjean suffered in Bahrain. Joining us is Professor Gerard Saillant, professor and president of the FIA Medical Commission, as we pay tribute to the measures and people who saved Grosjean's life. Fire is a driver's greatest fear. The quick thinking and brave actions of the Bahraini corner workers, the FIA doctor Ian Roberts, and the medical car driver Alan van der Merwe gave Romain the vital assistance he needed to escape the cockpit and the blaze. On the screen, we see the corner workers who are all awarded with a wonderful medal by the FIA president. And to receive the trophy for the collective efforts, we are connected to the general manager of the Bahrain Motor Federation, Abdulaziz Al Tawadi. Mr. Tawadi, you must be very proud of the actions of your team and the skills and bravery they showed.
Thank you, Tom, for the introduction. It is a very proud moment for us here in Bahrain, especially the marshals of Bahrain, and especially those behind me, the heroes, I would say, of the incident of Grosjean with the FIA medical doctor and Robert, Ian and Robert there. It has been a very shocking moment for everybody there. Thank God our team, who are well trained during the entire year, that made it a successful, let's say, job at the scene, which made things in a perfect way handled. The relief of it was that seeing Grosjean after 32 seconds from the impact was recovered by our fire marshals and the other team, and the FIA doctor also as well there. It is a relief. We are proud of our team. We are proud of the entire safety that has been put all together by the FIA, which led by the FIA president, Mr. John Todd. Yes, again, it is indeed a proud moment for every marshal here, which I'm proud of myself speaking on their behalf as one of them, as a Bahraini marshal. Thank God, and we really thank the FIA president for this outstanding reward for every single marshal here in Bahrain. We thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm very delighted. Thank you to speak to a smiling Romain Grosjean. Is there anything, Romain, that you'd like to say further to those people who helped you in Bahrain?
What I went through, I wish it to no one, but also what you see people behavior in those circumstances, and seeing the footage for me is difficult, but seeing the action of people makes me every time proud, and makes them proud, I'm sure, as well. And yes, it was a tough moment, and I'm still suffering from the burns, but also I'm alive, and I can talk to you, and I can thank them every time I meet them.
That's very good. I tell you, it was this year the longest 32 seconds we all experienced. But Romain, if I may, you were initially one of the drivers who spoke a little bit out against the halo. How grateful are you that the FIA pressed ahead with it? And what were you thinking when you went through the barrier?
Well, I think I was completely wrong, and I'm very happy to admit that I was wrong to be against the halo. I think it's one of the greatest safety measures that have been brought to Formula One. Without it, I wouldn't be here to talk to you. And, you know, it's because of Jules' accident that the Halo was conceived. And forever, I'll be grateful to Jules. He saved my life, obviously, with everyone that worked on the project behind. But yes, I was stupid. And no, I can tell you that I would never race a race car without a halo.
Yeah, thank you. Gerard, I'm glad to have you here. As head of our medical commission, it must be very satisfying to see that the work that FIA has done safely, on safety, actively saving a driver's life at corner 3 in Bahrain.
Of course, it's a great pleasure to see Romain smiling and in good shape, and it's a congratulations for all the team, for the FIA, for the rescue team, and we are very satisfied. But to be honest, if we want to reach to excellence and to Vision Zero, we must not be satisfied, because we have to improve day after day, year after year, the safety by decreasing the risk of accident and decreasing the consequence, the possible physical consequence of the accident. But we are so happy for today, yes, of course.
Yeah, that's strong and very, very good words. And it's also very good to see Dr. Jan Roberts and Alan van der Merwe. I mean, they showed such bravery too, straight on the scene. And thank you, everyone, and goodbye to Bahrain. Thank you for everything, and congratulations on this award. And Romain, it's great to see you and looking so well. And there's a lot of people who is looking forward to see you back in our racing car soon.
I am as well.
Bye-bye.
The two other FIA President Special Awards are presented to two men who have excelled both on and off track, following a sensational year during which he claimed a record-equalling 7th Formula One World Championship. Our first winner is Lewis Hamilton. Lewis, welcome back. Good to see you. Now, when you entered Formula One way back in 2007, I mean, did you imagine it? Did you envisage that it would be possible to match Michael's record of 7 titles?
I definitely didn't know what to expect. You know, I think when you get to Formula One, it's such a privilege to have the opportunity. I think you're generally hoping to perform well, and I would say probably at the end of each year, you're hoping that you still got a seat the following year. So did I after winning one world championship think that I could get to 7? I mean, I was really grateful for the one that I had, and however, of course, was pushing for more. But I think it's beyond my wildest dreams to think that I now stand here as a 7-time world champion, and I couldn't have done it without such an incredible group of people behind me. Standing at the factory now, where all those individuals work so hard to provide me with a platform to be able to really show what I can do and live to my full potential. So I'm truly grateful for that.
Now, as well as all your remarkable on-track performance, you've also been at the very forefront of the End Racism campaign and promoting diversity and inclusion in motorsport. Can you tell us a bit more about the Hamilton Commission and what you hope to achieve?
Well, I've always walked alone in this sport. I've never generally come across we've never come across another black family. And I mean, look, I've been in Formula One for 14 years and it has not progressed in terms of its diversity. And I think this has been such an important year. I, as a person of color and people of color, do not have the opportunity to opt out. They will experience some form of racism at some stage through their lives. And it's about creating an opportunity. When I ask people why the sport is not diverse, when I asked our leaders, they didn't know what the answer was. And so I think the reason for putting the Hamilton Commission together is to try and find what the root cause is, and beyond the systematic oppression that there generally is, and try and find out how we can break down those barriers and create equal opportunity for young people to get into STEM subjects and create a real pathway into, I can't change, most likely not going to be able to change the fact that the sport is expensive for a young driver coming from same background as me. But what I can change, and I'm trying to work with Jean, which I'm really grateful for his steps and the steps that Formula One's taken, is that we can open up the doors to create, to understand what the barriers are and break down those barriers so we can get more engineers. There's so many great and wonderful jobs within this sport, and I think it's really important that that we dive deep and not only make the symbolic gestures that we have done throughout the year, but really take action moving forward. So I'm really hopeful that together with the FIA and with Formula One, I think we can really make some leaps and bounds moving forwards, hopefully from 2021 onwards.
It's amazing to hear, and the sport won't be the same again. Things are changing and opportunity is coming. Thank you. Now, our second award goes to the driver whose record Hamilton equalled, and someone who also has an amazing legacy of helping great causes. Michael Schumacher. Now, Michael has worked tirelessly as an advocate for road safety, has donated to the charity in support of the 2004 tsunami victims, and has contributed to the creation of the ICM, which is devoted to medical research for brain and spinal cord disorders. Michael is also the inspiration behind the Keep Fighting Foundation, which recently became the first organisation to pledge 5,000 helmets to the FIA Affordable and Safe Helmet campaign. And joining us tonight to accept this award on his behalf is his wife, Karina. Karina, come and join us on the stage with myself and Jean Todt. Lovely to see you tonight. Here is the fantastic award, looking rather incredible. Now, you were obviously there when Michael won his 7th title win. Just explain to us, I mean, what was it like? How did he keep his motivation and desire going when he'd already achieved so much?
I think he just loved it. So from this point, he doesn't need to have an extra boost. He has just had it, and he did have always the motivation to go because he loved racing so much.
Well, that's it, isn't it? If you do what you love, you never have to work a day in your life. And the passion continues. Tell us a bit more about the idea of behind the Keep Fighting Foundation and the work it does.
Michael has always a big heart to do stuff for people that need something or things in that way. And so for him was always a big pleasure to do the things. And with the Keep Fighting, we just want to continue the stuff he started. I mean, with all the charities and stuff he did, so I think that's the key. And we want to do that.
Absolutely. And Mr. President, I mean, how inspiring really to have Michael and Lewis here winning these awards. How much of an influence have they had both in the sport and also away from the track?
I mean, they're amazing human beings, and they are champions. They, as Corina was saying, and Lewis, they are champion. But then they want to do something back for the society. And I commend Lewis' involvement in diversity, and he's doing a great job. And we will do as much as we can together with Formula One to support him. And talking about Michael, Michael was always ready to support any kind of actions which was going to help the society, and of course road safety. And when we are racing driver, and we have been talking with Romain Grosjean about accidents, about motor racing being a laboratory for safety, and we must not forget that every year 1.4 million people die on the roads. It's #1 cause for mortality for youth between 5 to 29 years old age. So to have people with like Michael, like Lewis, engaging to guide youngsters is absolutely something essential. And Michael was always there, and I must also thank Lewis for his commitment on all those issues as well, but still long way to go. You know, and we want to improve safety in motor racing. We want to improve safety on the road. We want to improve diversity, gender equality and inclusion. So there is a lot on the plate, but having people with leadership, with a passion like Michael and Lewis will help us a lot.
There's a lot of passion in this room, isn't there? Jean-Todt, thank you very much. I mean, it is wonderful to hear the support that you have for both Michael and Lewis. We're going to say a quick goodbye to Lewis, but we will see you later, I'm sure. Karina, thank you so much for joining us. It's been wonderful having you here. And Jean-Todt, thank you for those amazing words as we approach the grand finale of the show. The Formula One World Championship celebrated its 70th anniversary this year, but in its long and illustrious history, seldom has it faced a bigger challenge than the one created by the pandemic. The result, though, was still an impressive 17-race calendar spanning 15 circuits in no less than 12 countries. Now, a rigorous testing procedure was put in place. Technology was deployed creatively to give fans and the media amazing access to the teams and drivers, while the appearance of some of the new tracks and return of past favourites made for one of the most intriguing seasons of all time. I think the record books are definitely going to show the magnificent achievements of Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, and there were still some tremendous battles right through the field.
But before we speak to the man of the moment, let's take a look back at the 2020 F1 season.
I always wanted to be a racing driver. I never thought about all the other things that would happen.
Lewis Hamilton wins!
The pressure has always been there. It's been there since day one.
It's way more than I could have ever dreamed.
Didn't imagine that I'd be anywhere near Michael in terms of records.
The record is equalled!
I can't believe it.
I'm speechless.
This is history.
Get in there, Lewis! Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world! Hamilton has more wins than any other driver in Formula One history.
Did you think that I couldn't do this? Would you rather I stop winning? Can you consider that I never stopped pushing, striving, working? Did you think that the records would never be broken? And did you think it would be me breaking them? Would you have believed that humble beginnings do make legends? And that we all have the power to make a difference? Can you look me in the eye and say, the greatest?
The only thing that can really get in my way is myself.
The Australian Grand Prix has been cancelled.
These are challenging times, and I think we've made the decisions we have to make.
This is the worst public health crisis in a generation.
The majority of national and international events now cancelled or postponed.
We will race again.
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 We've waited 112 days, but finally, everybody, it's here. It's lights out and away we go.
It's all about maximum attack.
So just going to fully settle it. The wheel to wheel now. This is going to be so tight. Someone's had a very, very big crash. Move and done and gone.
Puncture from left.
They're all struggling now.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, come on.
You are free to race. Need to keep it clean.
Yeah, that was sketchy.
That's the race. He looks left, he looks right, he goes left again.
Did you like that one, man? Dangerous driving. Oh my God.
Tell you, I'm going to get eaten up.
Oh, this is absolutely brilliant. Can we win this?
Get on with it.
You work for something so hard and you never really know when the chance is going to come.
I try not to preempt things or expect things.
I'm hungry for it. I know it's there, I want it.
If we achieve the goal that we set out to achieve, that's the thing that motivates me.
When the competition is on, that's when I get really excited and motivated to win.
Lando Norris is a podium sitter. It's third time lucky for Alex Albon.
Your second, no mistakes.
I won this week. He's so close. Oh my God, no! Pierre Gasly wins the Italian Grand Prix. Just wonderful.
I always had to fight for everything I wanted in my life.
And now my first win in Formula 1 in Monza, I'm just so happy.
I wanted that win so much.
I won't stay silent against racial discrimination and inequality.
Everyone should be treated equally.
I stand in solidarity in the fight against racism.
Let's all do our part to put an end to racism.
That's an unbelievable power to have, being able to really push for change.
Lewis is the king of F1. He's the man to beat.
Something fresh, so brand new. Something you can't handle. Light the fire like a candle.
Going nuts, that's cashews.
Lewis Hamilton picks up his first victory of the season.
There's nothing that you can't do.
Masterclass, mate.
Fantastic effort this weekend, guys.
But look at the state of that Mercedes car.
You've done it. You've done it.
That was close.
You don't love me now, you don't love me tomorrow. If you don't love me now, you gon' love me tomorrow. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me. You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me, you're gonna love me.
Damn, guys, that was tough.
He's absolutely smashed it today as Lewis Hamilton.
What a result. Thanks so much.
You're gonna love me, you're gonna love me.
Lois 92.
You rewriting the history books.
You're gonna love me.
It's 7 consecutive Constructors' Championships for Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton wins the Turkish Grand Prix.
Thank you so much, guys.
Hamilton and Schumacher, the record is equalled.
I always had the confidence in what I was doing.
Yeah, Lewis, that's a magnificent drive.
Get in there, Lewis. We're underway for the Bahrain Grand Prix. That was horrendous.
That's extraordinary. Okay, hanging upside down.
The 95th career win. Russell's going to have a go, and he goes past his teammate. Sergio Perez winning Sakir. Welcome you to the final chapter. Verstappen wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Yes, we call that a simply lovely race.
What a year, lads. You all deserved it. That's for all the kids out there who dream the impossible. Possible.
Wow, what a season and fantastic moments captured there. I'm delighted we will have to speak to the top 3 drivers of the year. And we'll start with the driver who finished 3rd in the standings, but who ended the year on a high, Max Verstappen. Max.
Good evening.
Good evening, Max. Sitting there in Monte Carlo, a fantastic win at Silverstone. And of course, the big win in Abu Dhabi last Sunday. That must have been the perfect end to sometimes difficult season that started with so much promise. Can you, Red Bull Racing, and your new Mexican teammate challenge for the title next year?
Well, one thing is for sure, next year we'll have a lot of tequila in the team, so that's a positive. No, but I mean, overall, I think, it's been an interesting season. I think it's still very impressive that we got the 17 races in. It was very busy. It was very demanding, especially for the mechanics. You could really see that. But we had some really interesting races, and yeah, had a few good podiums, 2 wins, and especially the last one, I think, you know, was a great one for the team, because, you know, you go into the winter, you know, winning the last race. Everybody, of course, is very motivated to try and do better next year. Of course, when we started the season, we wanted to try and fight for the championship, but I think quite quickly we realized that was not possible, and from there onwards, we tried to reset, and I just tried to make the car better, tried to make the engine faster, and, you know, learn throughout the season basically. And yeah, I'm just already very excited for next year.
Well done on a great season, Max. Very well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, next up, we're going to speak to the driver who took second in the championship. We should have Valtteri Bottas. I think they're going to do a quick swap of the seats. And there he is now, stepping into the seat. So, Valtteri, hopefully you can hear me. It was a record-breaking season for the team. What's it like being part of such a historic moment?
For sure, it is really special, you know, making history in F1 and being in a team that is, when I've been there 4 times, winning the title in a row as a constructors, it is something really unique. And I think all of us within the team need to take a step out to actually realize that we are making history now. It's tricky to think that way when you're in it, but yeah, really proud.
Well, enjoy a few celebrations and have a lovely Christmas. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. You too.
Now, before we hear from the world champion, we actually have a message from the person who masterminded the Mercedes' unprecedented 7 titles in a row. It is, of course, Toto Wolff.
Thank you very much. When you look back at the 7 consecutive titles, it looks like it was easy, but it was the contrary. We tried to push the boundaries every single year by setting the right objectives, sticking to our values, and pushing ourselves even further. Lewis was very important, of course. He's the reigning driver world champion. But every single pillar in the team needs to function in order to achieve that success. And it's the driver who is at the very forefront, but it's also all the mechanics, the engineers, the support functions behind closed doors that are the unsung heroes that have contributed to Lewis's success and the team's success. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the FIA, not only for this virtual event, but also working together with the teams and with FOM to have actually put together a calendar of 17 races, whilst many other sports have failed to do so. So thank you from all of us at Mercedes.
Strong words there from Toto. And we have the president back on stage as well. Finally, once again, let's also hear from our world champion, Lewis Hamilton. Lewis, did you approach this season differently, as we both know how difficult it is to keep up that winning momentum?
I would say the normal prep you put in at the beginning of the year was similar, I'd say, to the previous year. And however, I did need to raise my game a little bit this year, particularly in qualifying. But once we got to the first race in Melbourne, then we got struck with the whole pandemic, and things had to shift. And I really want to second what Toto said there. Just really huge congratulations to Formula One and to the FIA and John for what they're able to do to get this incredible sport back on the road, and kept everyone safe through the whole season. That started obviously later on in the year, but it took a lot out of everyone, all the team. I think probably every team having those 3 back-to-back races and back-to-back and back-to-back. It was a challenge, I think, for everyone, and tiring because everyone was isolated. It's definitely probably been, I would say, the hardest year for everyone. But I think how we did it collectively as a sport was a real showing of people coming together for the same passion.
Well said. If I take you into the car, I think your speed in the long final stint in Turkey was one of the standout parts of your year to me. How did you manage to get the tires to last to the end?
I think, naturally the tires are something that are they always seem to be an unknown. They're like a living organism almost. They're always shifting from different tracks that we're going to. So that's something I study heavily because there's so much time in these tires, in the different compounds that we have and naturally the different wet compounds that we have. And that weekend, particularly the trickiest circuit in terms of the surface that we had, none of the slick tires were working with the surface of the circuit. And fortunately, the rain came, but that made it obviously even slipperier. And I think really the experience that I have over the years, particularly in the wet races, really helped naturally going into this race and understanding and being able to see, where the track is particularly wet, where you can and can't push. There was a lot of places that were still wet, but there were places that there was a dry single line appearing, and being able to utilize that without killing the tires was a challenge, I think, for everyone. But I didn't know how long those tires were going to go because they were bald at the end, but there was plenty of tread left. And I think the great thing about that tire was that it's a lower working range tire, so it's much easier to get the temperature in them and hold it in those conditions. So it was definitely better than putting on a new intermediate tire, and it was definitely better than putting on a new slick tire. So a combination of just that knowledge from over the years came into good use.
Congratulations, 7 times world champion. Well done, Luis. Well done.
Huge congratulations. Thank you very much to Jean Todt for joining us for the prize giving as well. And that was for the last time Lewis Hamilton. Now it is time to almost say goodbye, actually. It's been a rather emotional end to a wonderful night.
We have seen some fantastic race action. We have heard some inspirational stories, and we have showcased how technology can transform an event such as this.
Yeah, we've got to say a massive thank you to everyone who made this possible, for all of our friends out there on Zoom for joining us. It has not been that easy. In fact, speaking of which, there they all are. I mean, this has got to be a moment in history, definitely one for the history books. If you can hear me, give us a wave, because there are all the wonderful drivers from all over the world joining us tonight. 95 champions, to be precise. Also, a huge thank you to my co-presenter, Tom Christensen. It's been an absolute pleasure and honour, as always, to share the stage
with you.
And a big thank you as well to our sponsors, Rolex, Michelin and BMW, for their support, and to all of the wonderful winners once again. So from myself, from Tom, thank you, President Jean Todt. We wish you a very happy Christmas and a wonderful New Year. But before you go, don't disconnect yet, because it wouldn't be an FIA prize giving if we didn't have our family photo. So I would now like to welcome Karina Schumacher and Professor Sayan back up on stage, and we're going to have our family photo. But for now, it is a good night from us.
Bonsoir, guten Abend, farewell, arrivederci. Please join us on stage.